Good Lord, what was that kind of proto-quasi-discotheque internet experience introduction? That's right, it was what you've come to expect from lockpicking legend. Nonsense. But I wanted to show you that because in this video, locks will be picked. But before we get to that, I wanted to show you this. I actually done a bit of work. I actually looked up some l'histoire. Look at this, a gazetteer of lock and key makers. Now, in fairness, this is copyright Jim Evans 2002, but I'll put a link in the description, and personally I think you should be glad that I'm giving it a bit of airtime. but let's have a look, because this is really nice. H T Vaughn, Standard Works, Wood Street, Willenhall. Weirdly though, it says Henry, William and Thomas Vaughn were three sons of Abel Vaughn, who is listed as a lockmaker in 1851. But it's H T Vaughn, so poor William, he was surplus to marketing requirements. But let's interestingly though, Abel Vaughn was listed as a lockmaker in 1851. Now, I done a little video, a teaser, about an article I found about the spectacles of security at the Great Exhibition in Crystal Palace in 1851. If you haven't read that article, there's a link to it in the video. So I'll link to that in the top corner of this. So you might want to go and check that out. It's a long essay, but you'll learn so much about what was essentially lock sport in 1851. And it dominated the Great Exhibition of 1851. It really caught the public's attention. They were queuing up, there was crowds of them, to watch people competitively pick locks. Lock sport is nothing new, people. It's an incredible essay. So the fact that Abel Vaughn was listed as a lockmaker in 1851, the year of the Great Exhibition, is an exciting bit of lockpicking synchronicity. Henry, aged 13, and William, aged 11, are both listed as lockmakers. Good Lord! Imagine being listed as a lockmaker at 11 years old. I mean, these days, that ain't going to happen, is it? And unless you're designing security features for Master Lock. I had to. Come on. They make some good locks. They don't. I want you to have a look at this picture here. I'll click my fingers and we'll get a massive one. We all like a massive one. Look at that, though. Look at the pride. Look at it, Standard Works, Willenhall, by Her Majesty's Royal Letters Patent. Patentees and manufacturers of locks and keys. Bought of H T Vaughn. Every description of door locks, latches and keys. I mean, they were right on it. The spectacle of security, the competitive lockpicking of the Great Exhibition was really kicking in at this time. So they were absolutely all over it. If we scroll down this page a little bit, there's some interesting stuff here as well. I mean, these people were complaining about American locks. Look here. In 1879, they were one of four Willenhall lockmakers. I mean, Willenhall was the place to be. Look. In 1879, they were one of four Willenhall lockmakers who protested that American-made locks supplied to the Admiralty had mostly been produced in Willenhall and had been supplied at higher prices than would have been charged by the makers. Business, eh? It's always been the same. But, look, they were the first company in Willenhall to develop the manufacture of a cylinder pin tumbler lock, about 1910. Now, cylinder pin tumbler lock is a bit of a mouthful. I mean, pin cylinder is what we call them today, but that's still cool. Their famous 04 lock design by Percy Byron I've just had the next door neighbour's industrial aircon turn on, as you can probably hear. Thanks, mate. Their famous 04 lock was designed by Percy Byron, who was also responsible for sales and marketing. And that's kind of interesting because in this day and age, in the internet and communication and social media age, it kind of isn't enough just to be a tradesman. You've got to be able to tell people you're a tradesman. It's not quite enough to be an inventor. You've got to be able to tell people about your project. And this fella here in 1910 was cracking both halves of that shell. You know, that classic saying. But look at the effort put into these keys. Beautiful. Got the H T V on the bow there with those nice little, I like to call them Art Nouveau swirls. And then on the back of the bow, they've got the customer's name, the Art Metal Construction Co. London. 2 images of an H T Vaughn key that was manufactured for Art Metal Construction Company, London, that manufactured steel office furniture and factory equipment courtesy of Philip Collins. And it turns out that our man Henry Vaughan was also the county magistrate, president of the Wolverhampton Chamber of Commerce. He was all over it. What a different time it was then. You know, men who had pride in their work, pride, their family business, and you know, and the quality of what they were doing, and a high stand. You know, entrepreneurs, businessmen had a high standing in the community rather than being largely despised in today's corporate society. Anyway, let's get on to some locks. And there she is, the Henry and Thomas Vaughan lock. And I'll tell you what, look at the key. Beautiful. Look how worn it is. I love the way it gets, you know, the lettering on the bow, the actual blade. And after all that time, still works like a dream. And I'll tell you what, it's quite the tricky lock. I'm going to grab hold of this tensioner. Yeah. This is a Dangerfield one. These are 15mm longer than most top wrenches. I love them. You can put a 90-degree bend in them and not lose any length. Multi-pick hook, because multi-pick are fantastic. And we'll get on with it. I mean, just the way this lock has withstood a century of work, of use. Loads of counter rotation going on here. Got that one. Got that one though. Got that one. More counter rotation. Just let a little bit of tension off. If you haven't seen the video on counter rotation, I've linked that in the top right. You must watch that. It's a cross section of a lock showing why spool pins, of which this lock is full of, create counter rotation on your wrench. It's a must see. There was more there. I mean, I'm thinking this has got so far at least more counter rotation, at least 3 spool pins in it. Another nice click there. You know, it's weird. It looks like it might be a 599 era rim cylinder, but this lock goes back years and is putting up quite a fight. It won't rake, by the way. Tried that, and I'm pretty good at raking. It's not a beginner's technique that people think it is. You can be quite advanced with raking. But the Henry and Thomas Vaughan would not rake. Oh, come on. Jeez. More counter rotation. Got that one though. Oh, nearly lost my wrench. barely. This is when a bottom of tension, a bottom of keyway tension. Oh, bloody hell! Let's go again. I'm not going to pretend I can fly through these locks in 5 seconds. This is lockpicking. I think videos where they do 50, 60 cuts just to show you them being a master, it puts beginners off. It's bad for morale. I've been picking locks 20 years. This is what it's like. It can be frustrating. It can be repetitive. And the more frustrating and the more repetitive it is, the better that incredible buzz is when she yields. I'm having to get right round there. Look at that. Oh, I thought she was going then. And you know what I was saying about a bottom of keyway tensioner? It might have made more sense because I'd have been able to get more leverage on it. Lovely jabalalos. Look at it go. Let's have a look inside this beast. And here we go. Let's see the beast. Well, standard. Look at the quality of the plug though. Beautiful. Well, I'll get you a close up of these in a minute so you can see them. Nice craftsmanship. Cared about their work. I know I'm banging that drum a bit, but it matters. I want to ride my plug follower. I nearly called it a plug puller then. Spool pin, counter rotation, all over. There you go. Quite a weird one. Quite an interesting bigger at the bottom. What else we got here? What other driver nightmares have we got? Another spool pin. Yep, as predicted. Slightly, I can't remember what they're called. Slightly tapered as well. Yet another slightly tapered spool pin. It was in there somewhere. Oh, bog standard. Oh. Come on, I'm tired. It's 5:30 in the morning. Oh, there he is, look. Another spool. That is your Henry and Thomas Vaughn lock. I hope you enjoyed that. Do us a favour. Let me know what you thought. Here we go, look. Nice little close-ups. All apart from that second driver pin were spools, and it felt like it. Make sure you watch that counter rotation video. If you're not subscribed, do that. Get more videos that way. Share the video. Oh, you'll get loads of videos. Look after yourselves, pick some locks and live your life to the full. Ta-ta.